All right, let's bring back in Donna Rotunno, Josh Ritter, and Jonathan Turley. Donna, let's start with you. To Brett's point about the smirk and the demeanor and the way he's comporting himself, the fact that Catherine Nestor did not, or maybe she did and he just didn't follow it, say to Tyler Robinson, no emotion, no smirk. You know, there is a large part of the country will be against you if you're seen doing that in court.
Yeah, for sure. And as a lawyer who sits at those tables all the time, I have those conversations with my client, whether there's cameras there or not. There's always people watching you, whether it's the jury, whether it's the courtroom personnel, the judge, the prosecutors, anybody that's there watching. So it doesn't even need to be a camera for you to have that conversation. Now, maybe she had it, maybe she didn't. And, you know, we also have to remember we've looked at him in a very small window here while he's in conversation with his lawyers, and I will not make any apologies for him, but what I will say is I think we have to give him a little bit more time to see how he comports himself rather than just the very small snippet we saw while he's in the middle of conversations. And it is also Miss Nestor's job to make sure that she keeps him not only appropriate, but calm and, you know, engaged. And so there's a lot of conversations you have with the client. You saw her put her hand on his arm twice. I mean, her job is to try to humanize a person that the world is looking at as a monster. And so she's in a tough position. And I think that, you know, we will see him be respectful to the court. We'll see how he comports himself moving forward.
Very interesting analysis there. Jonathan, your thoughts?
Well, I agree entirely with what Donna said, and that is an important point for the defense. One of the challenges of the court on the subject of these hearings is how do you really protect publicity in a case that has the whole world watching? It's like, you know, you're throwing a towel to a guy swimming in the ocean. I mean, the fact is this is saturating every channel. Every newspaper is covering this in depth. And so you're going to have publicity there. What the judge can do is not necessarily keep cameras out, but Trey is correct. You want to keep some things out, like obviously the security plan, but also some of these suppression hearings. You don't want evidence that is being suppressed to be widely distributed before a jury is seated. All those things can weigh on a court, but we can do that. We've done that. And also, I think that you can trust the media. I've been very impressed. The media follows the rules of these judges. They position the cameras so that they're actually often shooting away from the jury, so you can't see the jury. They often do not show witnesses if that's the judge's request. There's lots of ways to protect these interests.
So, Josh, you've been through a lot of these, as Donna has. How do you see this all unfolding in the days and weeks ahead?
Well, hopefully we're going to get a ruling today on the issue of whether or not he's going to allow cameras in the courtroom. That, to me, is very significant. And I know we talked a little bit about it. You know, the cameras are really there to protect the anonymity of the jurors, but it's also there for the idea, as Jonathan was speaking to earlier, that our system is distinguished from the rest of the world because of its transparency. And part of our modern day transparency has to do with cameras. And so I hope that the judge will allow that moving forward in this case. But if I could just add to our comments about his demeanor in court earlier, you know, we talked a little bit about don't try to understand the mind of a monster. Well, we do know a little bit about the mind of this monster in that I believe he's incredibly proud of his handiwork. It makes us think a lot about Luigi Mangione. These two men inscribed notes on the bullet casings that they used to commit murders, murders that were to send a message. He committed an assassination in a very public place against a person that he had ideological differences with, entirely politically motivated. That is a person who's proud of their handiwork. So I think that when we see him loose and calm, relaxed, and smiling in court, I think that's an outer manifestation of his inner feelings that he is very proud of what he's done, stands by what he's done, has no remorse for what he's done, and is looking forward to the world watching.
Jonathan, I see you nodding in agreement.
Really troubling.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, as Josh put out. When you have cases of this kind, you are off the map. You are where monsters dwell, to use pirate terms. This is where you find monsters, are in these cases. And you find people that don't think the way you do. This is one of the reasons jurors often stare at defendants whenever they can get away without being impolite. They look at these defendants to try to figure out something not just about them, but themselves. How can someone go off the map to this degree? The evidence here is overwhelming. And a lot of attention is likely to be what possesses a person like this to treat someone like Kirk as a trophy. And that is what happened.
It's just
Well,
heartbreaking.
if it's true that he did it and he gets convicted of it, I guess you could say that, you know, he thought in his own twisted mind that it was something that he needed to do, and you could never understand, as you were pointing out earlier, Professor, you know, Trey was pointing out, you know, the person who drowns their children and the person who bludgeons someone to death, you could just never get inside that mind to even begin to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
That's right. I think that's absolutely true.
Yeah, that does it for us here.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.